Next on Worcester News Tonight, 2 storms are heading our way. How people in central Massachusetts are gearing up for the weekend weather. Plus, we sat down with a local boy who will be featured on this season of American Ninja Warrior Jr. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. It may have been sunny and mild Friday, but the first of 2 snowstorms is on its way to central Massachusetts. The area could see several inches of snow pile up in the next 3 days. And while some residents are not excited to see snow, at least one local business is asking for it. Our Cam Jandros live in Worcester tonight. He has the details. Cam?
Anna, no snow yet, but that could change in just a handful of hours. Now, we have had some snow here in central Massachusetts this year, but nothing really significant in the next 48 to 72 hours really could have something different to say about that, which is why people were out and about in the area today preparing for the weekend.
It has been a slow winter for Jerry's Hardware in Worcester, but business could pick up this weekend with weather on the way.
Saturday it'll be steady because the storm is coming during Saturday, and people have 4-wheel drive trucks and vehicles, so they come in anyways. And Sunday will be all cleared up, and then they'll get scared again.
Owner Tom Pacinas spent Friday selling rock salt and shovels to customers ahead of the snowfall. Pacinas welcomes the incoming storms.
I hope no one gets hurt in the storms. Scare's okay, and a little bit of misery is okay, as long as no one gets hurt. The more misery it is, the busier we are.
Snow in March isn't unexpected. Mother Nature dumped 40-plus inches on Worcester last year. The area is expected to see 2 snowstorms in less than 72 hours. But for some New Englanders, this is nothing new.
I don't think people are like going out and getting bread and milk and panicking. Having a few snowstorms isn't a big deal.
Friday, the sand pile at Worcester's DPW was a busy spot, with people and plows stocking up.
For the most part, it's used for ballast to keep the vehicle on the road. In the back hills, up in the hills here in the city of Worcester, it's a tough run.
Pacinas says the last week has been one of his best in terms of selling snow removal equipment. But Jerry's Hardware now has a small dilemma. When do they start getting ready for spring?
Oh, they're going to probably call me on Monday to schedule all the spring stuff to come in probably early next week. And we'll be ready to come in next week. We look like spring in here.
Now, Pacinas says he expects a quite busy couple of days heading into Monday and Tuesday. Now, the city's parking ban went into effect at 10 p.m. this evening, and the snow is expected to start around midnight. Live in Worcester tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
Shrewsbury police identify the victim in Sunday's fatal accident on Route 9. The department says 51-year-old Robert Kernan of Fitchburg was hit and killed by a vehicle at the corner of Elm Street and Route 9 around 7:15 p.m. Police say the driver stayed on scene and cooperated with officers. Now to Worcester, where Elm Park will gain a new memorial monument in honor of a Worcester native and his once famous road race. Thursday night, the Worcester Parks Commission voted unanimously to allow a monument honoring Charlie Epstein and his Charlie Surplus 10-mile Worcester road race. Charlie's son, Mark Epstein, says the road race was held in Worcester throughout the 1970s and 80s, and it attracted some of the world's top runners. The race began at Doherty High School and finished here at Elm Park, which is where the bench monument will be built.
Going to finally have a home where people can come, bring their grandchildren, children, sit and tell of their memories of what it was like to run, knowing that forever now there's going to be a monument commemorating the road race, and Charlie Epstein is just an incredible, surreal honor.
On June 2nd, there'll be a fun walk-run where they'll unveil the monument. The Worcester Red Sox and Wormtown Brewery will release their collaboration beer in the city tomorrow. Named Welcome to Worcester, $1.25, the beer was brewed with unvarnished baseball bats to honor the team. The release will follow a special town hall meeting with representatives of the Red Sox organization. Last month, Wormtown was named the official hometown brewery of the soon-to-be Worcester Red Sox. $1.25 from each pint sold will go to the team's charitable fund. The release is expected to begin around 1 o'clock. Wormtown says this is a very limited release. A Worcester high school student is upset after a teacher suggested she remove her head wrap. Now members of the school committee and city council are speaking out, saying a school district policy needs to reflect a diverse student population. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the latest.
17-year-old Jasenia Kalako says a teacher called her out in front of her class for wearing a head wrap.
She asked me, you need to take that off. And I was like, well, I can't. I kind of just threw my hair up in a head wrap because I was going to be late and my hair was a mess.
Kalako says she was told head wraps aren't allowed. She says she felt uncomfortable and left the class at Claremont Academy. She says when the school's principal gave her permission to return, the teacher was still hostile.
It makes me feel like kind of like not discouraged, but like a little bit upset that that teachers will get to that level. We need to respect our teachers. But like there's a certain level where they also have to respect us.
According to the student handbook, students can only wear something on their head for religious beliefs. Jasenia's mom says the head wrap is not a distraction in class. The wrap is important to her culture and to maintain her hair.
In the, African culture, women tend to wear head wraps and they're just not as a decorative piece. They're just part of the culture. It gives them kind of, it gives them a little bit of empowerment.
The issue was brought up at this week's school committee meeting. Member Dante Comparetto says the policy is outdated and needs to be revisited.
We're a very diverse city and different communities have different needs when it comes to their hair. I actually think that it's part of an overarching concern around racism in our schools.
Kalako hasn't worn the head wrap to school since. She and her mom both hope the policy will be changed to be representative of all cultures.
With today's times, it's like times have changed. The school system is not like it was 50 years ago, and we just really need to adapt.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A Central Massachusetts high school student is taking his Ninja Warrior skills to national television. Today we caught up with him at the gym where it all began. Sterling native and ninja athlete Jonathan Godbout is only 14 years old, but he's already showing off his skills on national television. When it was first announced there would be a Ninja Warrior Junior, he knew he had to be a part of it.
I spent a while making videos about, ninja and athletics, as well as personal and telling your sort of story, how you got involved. Once I found out that I was selected to compete, I was, super excited.
Jonathan gained his skills training at Ultimate Obstacles in West Boylston. Owner Eric Mata has watched his journey.
To see them take it all the way to, kind of the ultimate stage to make on TV, it's really awesome. I mean, I know they worked really hard to get there, and it's just really exciting for them to experience that.
Jonathan says he's only been doing the sport for about a year and a half, but it's his hard work and dedication that's helped him achieve his goals.
Work your hardest and train really hard, and you'll keep improving, and it's great to see yourself improve. One day you won't be able to do something, and the next day you can come back and be able to do it, and that's a really great feeling. So I think the harder you work and the more you train, the happier you'll be with yourself, and it'll be great.
Godboat's episode of American Ninja Warrior Jr. will air March 30th. Well, switching gears now, President Trump's former lawyer testified before Congress this week, and Representative Jim McGovern agrees with some of his claims. McGovern says he agrees with Cohen's statements, calling President Trump a racist. He says the testimony has felt like a reality TV show on steroids, but the continuous scandals aren't a surprise. The Democratic congressman says he looks forward to learning the truth.
Country, including the President of the United States, is above the law. And so if there are illegal acts, if there's criminality, not just with regard to the Russia investigation, but with regard to how he's conducting himself in the White House, he needs to be held to account. This president has said things, has behaved in a way that, by any definition, are clearly racist. I disagree with him on a lot of policy issues, but I'm outraged by his behavior.
Friday, President Trump attacked Cohen via Twitter for the first time since he took the stand, saying in part, "Your head will spin when you see the lies." He is totally discredited. A team of civilians inside the Worcester Police Department play a big role in solving crimes. They use state-of-the-art technology in a lab. Our Olivia Lemon got a closer look today.
This is magnetic powder. This is considered a physical method. Laboratory Director Jenna Allenberty shows an example of how evidence is tested for fingerprints inside the Worcester Police Department's latent print unit.
So this powder stuck to that residue and made something that was obviously invisible.
Allenberty and 2 certified examiners work in the lab, testing prints brought in from Worcester's crime scene unit and in some cases from surrounding communities.
We get actual physical evidence such as, firearms, knives, where we'll actually put those pieces of evidence into our machines to process those for the prints. Really what we're trying to do is make those invisible prints visible.
The techs say the kind of processing used to identify the print is dependent on the type of surface.
This is our cyanoacrylate fuming chamber. Basically any non-porous evidence like water bottles, firearms, knives go into here. You basically heat up a aluminum dish. We'll put super glue in it, and that super glue will vaporize and stick onto our evidence to be able to visualize those ridges.
They say porous evidence like paper, money, and cardboard have residue already absorbed into the surface.
When you look at it under a laser, it makes them glow again so we can capture them digitally.
The latent print unit is only allowed to process 1 case at a time so evidence doesn't get mixed up. Allenberty says if a crime scene only has 1 piece needing to be processed, it's quick, but some cases have dozens.
Our record of latent prints recovered is like 80-something for 1 case, and every single one of those has to be looked at and compared and analyzed.
And while they get to help solve crimes, Allenberty says one of the things she is most proud of is her crew.
It's kind of neat to be able to be working in a police department as a civilian in a civilian-run unit, and especially all female.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
The Northborough Fire Department announces the arrival of some much-needed new equipment. The life-saving equipment was purchased with a $252,000 grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The department had unsuccessfully applied for the grant in 2016 and 2017. Chief David Parenti says the self-contained breathing apparatus will be replacing 15-year-old equipment. He says technology has come a long way to protect firefighters.
Special features such as integrated thermal imaging cameras and the ability to communicate via our radio with Bluetooth. So as technology advances, so does the firefighting equipment. This will help make firefighters so much safer in what we're doing.
The department received 41 air packs, 82 cylinders, and 3 rapid intervention kits. Parenti says the total cost was about $300,000.